quite on time.
Andrew, I'm going to start with the most important question. Are you such a big producer now that you can't come to the local hotel in Los Angeles to talk to me face to face?
But of course, that's it. It's a power play with you. You know that.
I understand. I really get that. So listen, man, congrats on the movie. I have a few other questions before we get into G20. You've been in this business now since I think you started producing in the mid 90s. How has the business changed since you got in it to where we are now? Has it gone through a radical change, or is it still making a movie is impossible no matter what era it's in?
I mean, it's changed multiple times and it's always been difficult. And I've been a writer-driven producer focused on stories. And as long as I keep having the good fortune to be aligned with good writers and good scripts, they'll find a way to get made.
You produced Bound with the Wachowskis, which is one of your first projects. What do you remember about that experience and working with the Wachowskis? Because, that was the film that led them to making The Matrix.
I mean, I had optioned Assassins with my own money. I begged Dino De Laurentiis to option that. And they came up with the pitch and we developed Bound as a pitch. And we actually bid on Matrix. Unfortunately, I was still working for Dino at the time, which was, a brilliant script. I mean, it was a magical experience. We shot, that movie, I think is their second best movie. I adore them and they're wildly talented. And it was a great experience. They had never been to Los Angeles. I put them up at my mother's house. It was a long time ago, but it was a great experience. And you could tell how special they were back then.
How is it that no one has made a film about the G20 summit? And how happy are you that no one has?
That's exactly right. The premise is if you were a bad guy, where would you want to do the worst possible things? At the G20 with the most powerful leaders of the world. And that was really the impetus of it. I'm a fan of Die Hard and Air Force One. And I was doing some research after American Sniper on this woman, MJ Hagar, who was in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. And really her case allowed the ACLU to get females to be legitimately in combat. And I started thinking to myself, there's all these amazing people that have served in the military and strong females that then want to continue their service for their country and politics. And obviously this is a totally apolitical movie, but what would be so great is to have a female president who had a little bit of a military background and she brought her family to the G20 summit. And if you'll notice, it was purposely the Marseille story. She wasn't going to bring her family. And then obviously in that opening sequence, you see that she's kind of the whole, at the end of the day, Stephen, I think you'd agree, stories need to hit you emotionally, no matter what it is. It's a comedy, a thriller, a horror movie. So the heart and spine of the movie is this mother-daughter story told against this, colossally big backdrop of the G20.
Yeah, listen, man, I've said it 1,000 times. If you don't care about the characters in the movie sucks. No matter what the action is.
Yeah.
So as a producer, what was what were some of the big challenges in producing G20 in terms of obstacles you had to overcome due to schedule and budget?
Well, we had multiple strikes. We had the WGA strike and the SAG strike. And in fairness, Cape Town was a great location because the crews are amazing and it's inexpensive to shoot there. And so globally, the G20 is in Johannesburg this year. So just a total coincidence. But making the movie for a price, we had to make the movie, and we had to be very, very, careful. And there's just a ton of action. And as soon as the ballrooms a takeover happens, there's an action beat almost every 5 minutes. So it was just really challenging. In addition to trying to stay on budget and work with a giant. The cast is really big, and it makes you think that being in a confined space, it's Die Hard in a hotel. But we're never in a set. We're never in a set for that long, so we're constantly moving through it. So it was a beast of a movie.
Yeah, it's funny because people who are watching it don't understand. If you're just in one location, that reduces the price. But every location is, adds a price tag.
Yeah, we're not in. It's not like we're in the ballroom the whole time. It's not. the takeover happens, we go to the elevator shaft, we go to the laundry room, we go to all these different places. So it was challenging, but we had an amazing stunt team, and everyone kind of loved the movie, and I think our cast was so incredible, and there was this great love and respect for Viola, who put her heart and soul into it. So it's always great when a director like Patricia Regan is so committed to the movie, and then you have a number one on the call sheet, Viola, who is throwing it down every day.
So something I've been talking about with a lot of people is, what is it going to take to get more production in Los Angeles? And you mentioned already, like, I know why people leave LA, because it's just so much cheaper. But can you sort of talk about how it is that much cheaper to go to Cape Town to make a movie like this than it is to film in LA? I'm just trying to see, like, what can we do as an industry to get production back?
Post-fires, I've signed numerous petitions. We're really trying. We need to have a better incentive. We need to have a better tax incentive. It needs to be more robust, because, there are, crew rates around the world are less expensive than crew rates in America. So without a robust incentive, it's never going to be competitive. So we really need those tax credits, which, by the way, I believe California affords them to Silicon Valley. And we really need to remember that the birth of the film industry and the epicenter of the film industry is Hollywood. So we really need California. And by the way, it might even be something that's on a federal level. We have to keep this industry. We started it. And I know that, the current administration really wants to do things to create jobs, make, cars and being manufactured here. We got to bring film production and keep film production in America, and in particular, California. We just need a robust incentive for California. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And people are trying. We're all trying really hard to lobby Sacramento.
Sir, I'm just going to say thank you for talking with me today. I really hope the film is a huge hit for you, and good luck with your speed dating today.
Thank you very much. It's great to see you, my friend.